girls are alone in their house when one of them sees something in the doorway. Pause the video and you can see it's clearly the upper half of a young girl who is dressed in old-fashioned clothes from another time period. She is floating in midair as she curiously peeks in on the two children to see what they are doing. One of the girls still doesn't see the ghost. She shouts at something that's on television and accidentally startles the ghost away. The girl with the camera follows the ghost as it retreats. The ghost instantly teleports and now stares at them from the top of the steps. The scared girls run out of the house screaming. They stop only for a second to turn around from the street. They can see the ghost girl walking across the left window on the top floor. It vanishes and then suddenly appears on the bottom floor in less than a second. They scream even louder and take off again. Number 2. Stay out of the attic. Back in 2008, a man started to notice some strange activities around his house. He would often come home from work to find his dogs cowering under the bed, too afraid to come out. One of his dogs would only come out from under the bed for a brief 10 seconds at most before going straight back into hiding. Something was intimidating these large dogs badly. The owner starts to hear banging noises coming from all over his house. He begins to look around. He eventually traces the noise to his attic and goes upstairs with a camera for a closer look. Everything is completely trashed. Boxes are overturned and clothing is scattered everywhere. Something has violently flung all of his personal possessions all around. As soon as he goes back downstairs, he hears another huge bang and runs right back up the steps. He puts the camera down and searches the empty attic for clues. A nearby metal bucket falls over and he runs out of the room before he gets hurt. Another object hits the ground on its own and the camera moves to the right on its own too. The homeowner was too scared to look at the footage. He waited a week before going back upstairs to get his camera. By now, he is understandably quite paranoid. He begins recording everything he does in his home, and it isn't long before he has more paranormal evidence. One day, his radio turns to static and a spirit orb rushes out the window. Later, someone violently jiggles the doorknob to the door that leads to the attic. The door opens and shuts by itself. The radio goes back to normal soon after. Things look to be going back to normal for a second, but then a paper towel roll suddenly flies up from the table to the couch, and the radio starts making more sounds again. The video recording starts to get fuzzy too, as if a ghost is causing electrical disturbances by passing by. Both of his dogs begin to look in the same spot as if they are following something. Whatever it was, the man was never able to physically catch it on film. He was only able to record its strange and oftentimes violent behaviors. Number 1. Ghoul School. This footage comes from somewhere in the Middle East. A group of teenagers are curiously exploring an old school. They go up a flight of steps and pause when they hear a dog whining on the other side of the door. They all run down the steps and gather at the bottom. They're afraid of being attacked by a group of stray dogs now, but they decide to press on and explore the lower areas. The group finds bravery in their numbers and begins to joke and laugh again as they make their way down a long hallway. They open a door and find graffiti on the wall. Other people had been here before them. Maybe this place isn't so bad after all. The teens grow a little more nervous as they continue to poke around. They are laughing less and starting to go silent. Something just isn't right about this section of the building. A YouTuber named Zabin Jaguar translated their comments. He says at this point one of the teens say that their phone shut itself off even though it was fully charged only a moment ago. Another person was able to keep recording, though they probably now wish they hadn't. They enter one classroom in particular and get a dreadful feeling. Suddenly a figure actually appears out of thin air and walks towards them. The ghost is missing his head, but there's somehow no blood. A loud chanting begins as soon as the ghost walks towards them, but this may be prayers from a nearby mosque. Amazingly, the group all appears to have missed the ghost, which explains why they calmly continue to keep exploring. They wouldn't see the apparition until much later, but when they did, they would never forget what was heading straight towards them in that room.
Hold on. Tell me that ain't... Tell me... Oh!
Mobile phone in 1938. A video phone in 1995.
Time traveler.
I know I'm not tripping out. Bruh. Bruh.
Chefs,
doctors, and even scientists. Haha, kidding. Best mother protects children in all aspects. Please rest assured that they will supervise the children's regular rest and study. Educate children to be outstanding. But make sure your children stay obedient. Sometimes due to system failure, they will become back on.
Can I show you a creepy video? This video was so uncomfortable to watch because of how creepy it was, so thank you for tagging me in it. This video is viral right now. The video was taken in Nayarit, Mexico. It involves these kids being home alone at their grandparents' house. They're home alone because the parents went to El Oxxo to buy some candles because the lights went out. But then the kids start to hear some sounds, and you start to hear the kids getting scared.
Esta es la casita, porque y mi mamá. Espérense.
Then the boy who is recording points out that his great-grandpa died and that they keep his ashes here. They then start making their way outside, and something terrifying happens in the end. It's in Spanish, but I translated it for you guys that don't speak Español, and here it is.
Mi abuelito, espérense, no sean chillones. No va a pasar nada. Y esas son las cenizas de mi bisabuelo, porque pues desgraciadamente él ya falleció. Y el baño está allá. El baño, mi hermano quiere hacer pipí, pero el baño está allá. Y mi abuela nos dijo que cuidáramos. Mi abuelo nos dijo que cuidáramos aquí su casa en lo que ellas iban. Pero espérense. Pero pues el problema es que aquí no sabemos. Y pues no tengan miedo. No pasa nada. Abuelito, ¿estás aquí? Preséntate con nosotros. Si estás aquí, preséntate ante nosotros. Somos tus nietos.
Videos that can never be explained. A police body cam captures lady vanishing out of nowhere.
Hey, how's it going?
I was speeding, wasn't I?
Yeah, and you completely blew past that stop sign in front of me.
I did. I'm so sorry. I literally didn't even see it.
Alright, no
This
worries.
is my first time being pulled over.
Alright, can I see your driver's license registration, please?
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
Here's my license, but this is my mom's car, so
Where are you headed to where you're speeding and missing stop signs?
I was just headed to a friend's house. It's like literally right there. It's
Okay.
a birthday party. So,
Got it.
not mine, but
Any drugs or alcohol in the vehicle?
no, of course not.
Alright. Sit tight, Sarah. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Your registration is
Where did she
What
go?
the? Sarah? What the heck? Sarah? 3201 to dispatch.
You're not real. You're not real. You're only made of moonlight.
You're so much smaller than I remember.
Be quiet to survive.